Congressman Paul, this message is for you, but I thought the sentiments in it were important enough that they should be heard by anybody who cares to listen. One of my favorite parts of Brian Doherty's new book, Ron Paul's Revolution, takes place on page 3, where Doherty's been talking about the Giuliani moment of 2007, where you spoke some forbidden truths about the U.S. government's foreign policy, truths the whole world knows, but which are not allowed to be expressed in the United States, and Giuliani attacked you. The whole world expected you to back down, but as a matter of fact, you actually amplified your points. And on page 3 of this book, Doherty quotes just a regular American who said, "I was watching that debate, and I was fully expecting Ron Paul, without a friend in the world, to back down." And then he amplified his points. And I felt like at that moment, this guy says, the world changed forever. Because in our society, whenever anybody strays from the 3x5 card of approved opinion, well, it's always followed by apologies and retractions and clarifications. There's a liturgical ritual of expiation that one undergoes, and you refuse to do that. And it did change the world forever. One of my favorite memories from the campaign this time around is actually a photograph of a college student actually hugging you. You had changed his life. When was the last time somebody hugged Mitt Romney and said, "Mitt, your philosophy changed my life"? And this is all because of who you are. You've been that man who refuses to go along, who will not be absorbed into the establishment, who's going to tell us those forbidden truths. And that's why you've given people such genuine hope. People feel like, here's that one honest man who can't be bought and his arm can't be twisted. And let's contrast that with Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney, for one thing, thinks that budget cuts cause depressions. Or even worse, I'll just give you 5 words about Mitt Romney. Secretary of State John Bolton. Now, I understand that you're under tremendous pressure to endorse Mitt Romney. And the people who are urging you to do this, and I am certain I know who they are, and I've warned you about them, do not have your best interests at heart. The millions of kids you've inspired would be totally devastated. Your legacy would be destroyed. And people would literally be in tears over this. Now, 99 times out of 100, I would assume there's no way Ron Paul is going to endorse Mitt Romney, who disagrees with him on every major thing. But I can understand the appeal someone might make to a father, saying, you love your son, you want to help your son, don't you? And people, I'm sure, are telling you that you would help your son by endorsing Romney. But Rand is going to sink or swim on his own merits. That has nothing to do with whether or not you endorse Mitt Romney. And incidentally, may I say parenthetically that all this needs to be accompanied by a top-to-bottom reform of the organization Campaign for Liberty. For example, the gentleman running it right now believes the organization should steer entirely clear of foreign policy. Now, like it or not, the head of Campaign for Liberty is implicitly the custodian of the Ron Paul legacy, and this is not an appropriate person to be in charge of an office like that. Finally, Dr. Paul, I truly believe you are a great man. And one of the great privileges of my life has been to be involved in this movement that you've led, to have spoken at so many of your events, including the Rally for the Republic, to have worked with you on projects, and to have had my own work endorsed by you. Dr. Paul, you changed the world in 2007. Don't change it back. Just be Ron Paul, and millions of us will support you. We love you, Ron.